Deep in the mysterious Bustani jungle, far away from the world of men, lives a potato on his never-ending quest to do a thing.
Greetings to all who have found themselves watching this video! I am a potato, and I am on a quest deep in the jungle world called Bustani to start what I have been planning and hope will be a YouTube channel archiving great adventures of my life that I have had and will have. So much of the world we live in sometimes feels like chaos, but I'm a firm believer in the idea that life is an adventure. And in the right state of mind, even the most chaotic points of our lives, as well as the mundane, can be a most exciting journey. Now, I may not be a human like many of you on the internet are, and I know that not everyone lives in the wild jungle like I do, but I feel that in many ways, my life in the jungle may not be too different from the usual human life. I hope that if nothing else, I can at least share in a laugh in the spirit of fun as I try to find the time to make videos in my busy adventurer life. Now, as I said just a bit ago, I live in a jungle world quite different from the world of men. This jungle has many dangers, especially when it comes to the wildlife. There's raging rhinos, sneaky pythons, and angry apricots. But even in the jungle, one can find a friendly animal in the form of a pet. And this is the topic of my first episode of my new show, Potato on a Quest. Adventures with Pets. Now, there are many pets that my family has had in the past that were never too much trouble. My family has always had a love for cats, so we've had a number of those. We've had a couple of hamsters in the past. And there's also that time that we had a rat that pooped all over me when I was handling it. But then there was the time I decided I wanted a bagel. Wait, bagel? It says bagel here. Oh, that's a typo. That's a typo. It's supposed to say beagle. Beagle bagel. Yeah, let's go with that. A beagle bagel that we only found out after adopting him had a bit of a food aggression, which meant that if there was ever food involved, the doggo became a ferocious beast. Let me give you just one example of what I'm talking about. So one day, I get sick, right? And the one thing that could always help me in times of sickness was a bowl of chicken noodle soup. So my father made a chicken noodle soup, and it got put on the table. But oh boy, when that beagle bagel smelled the soup, he could not contain himself. He was drawn to this soup and gained the energy of 10 regular doggos and bolted for the table. I noticed him heading straight for my one and only salvation in my sickness, and though I tried to stop him, the beast inside him was in complete control. He got to that bowl at incredible speeds and knocked it off the table. It was a tragedy. Soup all over the floor, leaving me stuffy and weak forever. My dad made a new bowl of soup. Now, there are many pets that, unlike doggos and cats, have to be kept in cages or tanks, such as fish or hermit crabs, both of which were pets that we have also had in my family in the past. But one pet that I have really fond memories of is a red-bellied toad. It's funny because I recalled always believing this pet to be a frog rather than a toad. But in Googling red-bellied frog to make sure I was remembering the name of this animal right, I just get results for red-bellied toads. Well, potato, I guess, right? I mean, this video I found on the Snake Discovery channel explains that toads are technically frogs anyway.
Although they are similar in many ways, then actually toads are a type of frog, just it's not that all frogs are toads.
They're a pretty cool channel. Anyways, when I was in elementary school, we had a red-bellied toad, which is also known as a fire-bellied toad. And a fire-bellied toad gets its name from the fact that it has a red or yellow belly. Side tangent, but I probably will continue to call this pet a frog, just because I called him a frog so much all the time as a kid, And old habits die hard, I guess. Also, this is my channel, I can do what I want. It's funny because even when I had it stuck in my head that he was a frog, I decided to name him Toady. And yes, I got the name from Arthur, I was that young. Toady the Toad Frog was a cool pet for me. I still remember pretty clearly the tank that we had for him, which had pebbles and stuff, and a portion of the tank had the pebbles at a lower level for some water to sort of make like a little lake for him, if he wanted to chill in a little froggy toad bath. They like the water. We regularly had to feed him crickets that we had to buy from the pet store as well. That, for me, was a cool thing. Often watching the crickets fight for their lives against this, from their point of view, giant frog that wants to eat them for lunch. Even when those little crickets fought for their lives valiantly, Toady would stand as the undefeated champion. I always liked feeding him. There also was this one time Toady got away from us while cleaning his tank. I think he just wanted to go on his own adventure behind the ancient fridge. But I didn't want Toady to be the victim of some curse by disturbing the sacred grounds of the ancient refrigerator temple. It's a superstition that the natives of this jungle have, that bad things happen to those who wander behind the fridge. But I didn't want to take any risks. And luckily, my uncle, who was there at the time, stopped Toady from doing anything potentially dangerous. Frogs, and toads, are my favorite animal, and so Toady was one of my favorite pets growing up. But alas, he had eventually died. But the tales of his life I will always remember. He, in fact, will always be with me in spirit. Toady! What are you doing in my sleeping bag? I've told you time and time again you get ectoplasm everywhere and it takes forever to get out of the tent and Bad, Ghost Frog, bad. No chocolate cricket souls for you. Well, I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. I gotta clean up after my pet Ghost Frog now. But I hope you have yourself a nice adventure. And I plan on making more videos of my adventures in the Boostani jungle. Home to pouncing panthers, great big crocs, and spicy tarantulas. I'll catch you later.